God. They don't, because he has standards. He has things. He have a certain way of how he want to do things, and he's not going to let you interrupt that. Like that. Bottom line, a lot of these women want men who have the coins, who have the funds to allow to treat them like these soft. Thank you for the super chat, Classic Perspective. They want a man who's going to allow them to do whatever they want, living a soft girl life era, which means shopping and sitting on your ass. That's it. Shopping and sitting on your ass. No requirements, no responsibilities, no nothing. He take care of everything while you just sit back and be a princess, not do anything. That's what they want,
that
right?
sounds like a fair deal.
The minute he says, okay, no, we can't do this, we can't do that, they got a problem. Because you want somebody just to buy you, pay for things, shop till you drop, and that's it. That's unrealistic.
I agree.
And then when he can't do it anymore, she doesn't have his back. So it's just a one-sided thing that just doesn't work. And a lot of women, don't see it. It's like the unrealistic expectation. Stability looks like they don't understand what a relationship is built upon and how it's supposed to work and compromise and all of this stuff. It's just a free-for-all. Do what I want. Do what I want. And that. And a man doing what she wants 24/7 is reckless. It's going to be reckless for their overall benefit. It's not going to work. Look at Croy and that's the housewife lady, Kim Zolciak. He did what she wanted, the position that they're in. Look at the position that he's in. He was like, we're broke. We don't have anything. He don't know what to do. He's going to have to try to find a way to build himself back up. But he can't do it with her because all she's going to do is stand in the gap and try to destroy everything he's built again. You can't progress with the person who's constantly trying to bring you down. Because she doesn't understand what it takes to and how much it takes for you to build yourself up and make the kind of money that things they have to do to get to where they are. She doesn't understand that. Because she's not a man. You don't have to work the way a man works. And they don't get it. And they just think it's so easy. Just make this money, just do that. But they can't do it unless they're on OnlyFans, unless you're selling your body. And like I said before, men can't, it's not easy for men. Men can't go out here and take their shirt off and take their drawers off and show their ass and make all this money because it's not as popular. It's popular for women to do it. This is why. And then even that's dwindling. You're not even making that kind of money on OnlyFans anymore. So if you're not selling your, this is why a lot of these women are reduced to selling to OnlyFans, selling their bodies, because they don't have many options when it comes to making a substantial amount of money. They like to make you, and a lot of these women's dollars a year in the corporate setting, they're not making 200 and 300,000. A lot of them aren't making that. The majority of them are not making that kind of money. They're just not. And so, they like fast money and they like to spend it fast as well. That's just what it is. And that's not good for them being single, and it's not good for a relationship. And then on top, it's just, once again, like I said, it's just a hot mess. This is why I as much as I love to see people get married, I love to see relationships. I think it's a beautiful thing and build their families and stuff like that. I love seeing it be
in a relationship.
Unrealistic to think that it's gonna get a lot better, anytime soon, because it's just so divided. And once again, a lot of women are stubborn and they don't want to change, because I really do think it's going to have to start with women, and that's not going to happen. So everybody's just going to be divided. I do think that men have a better chance of getting wives and relationships outside of the women who think that way, if they can find women who has the complete straight traditional values, I think you're going to find women, because it's too much indoctrination. I think you're not going to find. I mean, I ain't gonna say you can't, because you might, but even the women overseas, some of them, they're being indoctrinated into this lifestyle also. So I don't know if you're going to be able to find a woman who's just straight, completely traditional, but you can find women who have traditional values to where they do understand the importance of marriage and a man, and willing to cooperate with you and work with you and build with you. You'll be able to find that in some of the women. So that seems like more of the option that men would have, because these women are here so hell bent. This lady said she'd rather work 2 jobs than go 50-50 with a man. They'd rather become lesbians and crowd up in a house and do it like that, try that before they work with a man, because somehow a man is supposed to be a super ninja and just do everything for them, and they expect you not to do anything with a man. But you will work with other women. You will be pushed to work with other women. Y'all try to do it, even though we see that's not working. So, child, I don't know. So I don't know. And I'm gonna ask this question, because I find too, when you talk to people, you talk about relationships and stuff like that, you're like, oh, you hear women say, oh yeah, I was married for 20 years. I'm like, oh, okay, you was married for 20 years, but what happened? Why did y'all break up? The first thing a lot of women say is, oh, he was too controlling. Okay, controlling how? Like, what did he try to do? Well, he tried to tell me what to do. He tried to say, and when you really start to listen to the conversations,
I just can't do it. In today's time, like paying all the bills. Let me think about it. In today's time, I just don't think that's feasible unless you make a substantial amount of money. And if a woman comes to the table, that's what she desires and that's what she wants. I mean, does she come from that type of background to warrant that? I don't know. I don't know why anybody. I mean, not to say that it doesn't happen. I've definitely seen it happen. But in my community, that's not something that happens a whole lot, at least from what I've seen. The man and the woman work. They put things together, kind of make things happen. I don't see why you wouldn't. In my opinion, it brings more to the table. It gives the family more of an opportunity to build money, maybe invest, do things with money that can, possibly build more wealth for the upcoming generation. I'm not sure, but just kind of working your ass off just to bring your money home to a woman. I don't know. I haven't really seen it much like that. Y'all have to tell me what you guys think, but I don't think that that's a fair deal at all.
Using your logical mind, you realize, oh, he wasn't really controlling. He was just trying. And you, with your feelings, you're telling yourself, oh, he's controlling, trying to tell you what to do because he don't want you to do. He didn't say you couldn't go to places. You couldn't do anything. He just want to know where you at, what time you're gonna be home. Don't wear that. That's too skimpy. He's protecting you. And so I said to say a lot of people leave relationships over silly things. They leave otherwise good relationships or good men over things that just don't make any sense. They really do. And then they get back out in these streets, and you just find yourself hoeing around because you're just going from man to man to man, sleeping with this one, sleeping with that one, thinking that you're going to get a relationship out of it. And
who you really switch it up with.
Never do.
And
then on top of that, you're getting older as you're doing this, and you're just sitting around. Now you're 40 and you're still single. That man and women.
You're just gonna have to go through the same issues with a new face, in my opinion. Like I learned a lot from my parents. Like running away from a relationship hasn't really never done There's going to be issues. There's going to be problems. In my opinion, that's what I think marriage is all about. Being able to do those problems. You know, two people who can work through any type of situation or whatever. Like, to me, that's a blessing. You know, it's the ones that, in my opinion, that think that running is the easiest way. What are you running to exactly? Sure, maybe a taller man, maybe a stronger man, maybe a man that has more money. But if you still have these issues, if you're still not the pay and bill type, if you're not the responsible type, then you're just going to be an irresponsible person just with another person in front of your face. Like, I don't know, man. I never thought that running from a relationship was the answer. Now I can understand, you know, some breakups and divorces and stuff like that happen due to, you know, exponential circumstances, you know, but for the most part, in my opinion, what I see, you know, with friends, family, stuff like that, a lot of relationships just break up over bullshit.
And found another woman miraculous, have no kind of stable relationship whatsoever, and now she's angry and bitter. Do it anyway because you say that these men were right. You refuse to acknowledge that what they were telling you was right and that you was wrong. You hate to be wrong, so you just gonna make that make sense. But you want to lead the relationship. You don't want him to lead. You want to do it, and knowing that you don't know what you're doing. So let me ask you. So I like to ask people this: for people who have been in relationships and they broke up, what if you were?
I want to answer that question for her. I think it was a culmination of things in my case. My last relationship was 5 years. Oh, I definitely did things. I initiated the relationship coming in bad faith. I was already in a relationship when I met the young lady that I wound up being with. But at the end, I think it was trust. I think it was the lack of respect. It was depleted in the relationship, and you know, some decisions were made that I wasn't really aware of. You know, but at the end of the day, if I was just going to say what ended it, I would have to say disrespect. You know, on either side. I'm not here to blame this person worse than that person, whatever. But you know, I think that's what it was in my situation.
Like what was the reason? What was the worst thing? I'll ask this. What was the worst thing that somebody did to you in a relationship that caused? What is the worst thing somebody's ever done to you in a relationship to where?
Oh, the worst thing. Damn, I had a couple of them. The worst thing. Oh man, I got a quick story. I moved here in 1998, and what was it? So about maybe a year or so later, me and this chicken moved in, and like we moved in one day, right? I get up next morning, drive to work. At this point, I was living in North Dallas. Drive to work, come home, you know, do my whole thing. Come home from work, come, you know, honey, I'm home. The whole ordeal. Go in my bathroom and piss, and there's a rubber floating in my toilet. It's crazy. I can tell the story now because that shit was crazy back then. But I think that was one of the boldest. I mean, there were all types of pretentious things happening in and out of that relationship. Like I probably got 100 stories just about that particular relationship. But that one right there, that was the first and only time that had ever happened to me. I came home and found a condom floating in my toilet. My very first 24 hours in that apartment. That's my little piece of story.
You were like, no, I can do this, and it ended. Because people be breaking up, like I said before, over who ate the last of the Fruitios. You know, they be breaking up because one of them take it, so they got, you know, it be stuff like that. It really don't be nothing serious. Like it really is. People break up over the silliest things.
And I've definitely been a simpleton in my time.
Bruce Mega says, why does everyone diss God's laws and run their own understanding? What does God say about what marriage is and how many wives and men can my resources for my last job? So when I get
and phone numbers.
when I got Joe Biden 2 years ago, I'm still surviving.
Let's just say, let's take a look here.
Okay.
You got TikTok. There has to be at least 8 to 10 ways for a woman to be contacted, or a man, for a woman to be contacted outside of her relationship. Like it's crazy. It makes it hard to trust someone, whether a friend or your girlfriend or anything like that. That's just a lot of access to a person. Like the validation is just like plentiful for them. Y'all get to an argument. Just goes online. Flooded 300 DMs. Everybody telling her how pretty she is and this and that, whatever. You don't need him. You should leave him. Those type of things. I've definitely been through that. You don't need him. You should leave him. Like, does anybody ever say, hey, I understand that you're frustrated, but maybe you should just, go home and figure out what you do. There are going to be ups and downs and woes, and running from the situation isn't going to make it better. Now, if your situation is so dire where you have to leave, then I get that. But most relationships aren't these brutal, damn near penitentiary stories that we hear about. But yeah, people will tell your woman or your man to leave you. Yeah. Nobody ever encourages to go back and fix and make things right, or try to get some counseling or any of those type of things. Like, really suggest that. Me personally, I don't think I've ever suggested that somebody leave someone. I've always been like, man, y'all need to go figure that out. Y'all need to, because you can't measure someone's love for someone else. And my stepmother used to tell me, whenever I used to speak with my dad about different things, she's like, don't ever tell him to leave his woman, because I'm sure ain't gonna leave yours. And I get it.
Thank you, Nando. Thank you so much.
Let's see what DB stuff.
Western women are
relationships are definitely different than when I was
tight. She gave him a ring to make him happy.
48, pushing 49 years old. I remember when I first got probably back out on the scene after being in an 11-year relationship, man, everything looked different. When I started my relationship, there was no social media around me like that. I discovered social media after that relationship. And it's definitely, the scenery was definitely not, from that age all the way up until now. It's just been, I guess I haven't really dated a whole lot. I actually went from one situation to another situation. Bad idea. Don't do it. But just the scenery of it, from what I see and from what friends and family, things like that, people tell me, like, there's a lot of head going on between men and women. Let me stop sharing this with you guys. These relationships are a scary situation, and I love being in them. I like having a relationship. I like having a chick, but the demands of a relationship almost outweigh my my work life, my actual purposeful life, my the things that I'm trying to do outside of a relationship. Like it takes more work to do the relationship than it does to make money. To me, that's a little crazy. But I know it takes work. I don't know. Yeah, but I just kind of want to go old for that. I probably stream about 30 minutes, so I'm tired. I gotta go to work in the morning. Yeah, we were talking about that topic on, is it fair? Are relationship dynamics fair these days between men and women? I personally do not think so. I just do not think so. For a man, you'll probably get, like if you are by yourself, you'll probably get more gratification of grinding and doing things by yourself than you would trying to support a family these days. You hungry, Fife? You hungry? Good boy. Let's see. Being freshly out of a relationship, I'm not sure if I'm ready. It's going to be a long time before I make a decision like that to get back into a relationship. It's going to be a long time. I got a stack of goals I need to knock out. Plus, like I said, I don't think you should jump from one person to another. I'm definitely guilty of it. Not a fun experience. All you do is wind up hurting two people and then hurting yourself. And then what was the phrase? I messed up for show trying to get some mo and wound up with no. So either way it goes, man, I wouldn't recommend it. I think you should, man or woman, I think you should sit in the shit that you create. You know, get past it the right way. You know, I ain't never believed that going to jump in the bed with another woman is the easiest thing or the best thing to do. It has happened, but it's definitely, it never has turned out to be the best thing to do. I think there's more ego than anything. I've learned to become less ego-driven. Come from therapy. But anyway, I just wanted to chat with y'all a little bit on that. Y'all can holler at me. I guess I'll probably do this again, probably Thursday. We can talk about some real stuff. I don't know. Appreciate y'all coming out to the Pushing Fruit podcast. We'll holler at you on the next one.